Okay, is this too close to the mic?
It's pretty close, but I can turn you down.
Okay, cool.
Or you could take your face away and not be selfish and make me do all the work.
Wait, what?
Never mind. What's up? How you doing?
Should I pull back?
No, I gotcha.
Okay, cool.
What's up? How's life going?
Life is great.
Yeah.
Flattered to be embroiled in drama with you.
Cool.
I feel like we've trauma bonded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought, I should hop on and clear some things up. Obviously, you and I have had, incessant, at-length conversations about things, and I thought that would suffice. Then, obviously, I resolved things with Melina about the situation, but I saw a clip yesterday that showed up on, DGG clips.
Okay, I feel like I gave two sides to that answer. Okay, here's what happened, okay? We recorded a 2-hour conversation. I asked her yesterday if I could just buy the full convo off of her, because now I'm like, okay, well, we need to post everything now. But she said she's only got 44 minutes of the footage left because she's already cut it down. I think that the issue is, we talked about it. She said she could try to post a full 44 minutes, but I don't even think it's worth it at this point. It doesn't matter. Listen, it's all learning lessons. I think the issue is that for her past content, she basically what she does is she writes skits and then she has a guy read a thing off and then she responds. So she has a formula for doing her TikTok skits, which is really effective and works really well for her TikTok.
Where's the best place to hit on women?
At the gym. Correct her on her form as an opening. At the gas station, preferably when she's alone, so her fat friends won't be around to cock you. Waitresses are generally a safe bet.
But I think the issue is that she's not used to having a real human being on the other end of that interaction. So when she's editing her TikToks in the past, she's not thinking I don't want this guy to look bad, because it was her ex or a friend that's reading off lines that she's already written on her shit. So I think when she was editing down mine, she's not really thinking oh, is this gonna make him look bad? She's just trying to get her point across, basically. But do you think people are being unfair with regards to attributing malice or negligence where it isn't? People are for everything. People have no. There's actually one really good post yesterday. Actually, I think the only one that had something good to say was that God Killer dude. I should be more strict about asserting my shit, which I'll probably learn to do eventually. People assuming that it was malicious are retarded. People assuming it's because I'm just trying to fuck her are retarded. Yeah, I agree that it was obviously a bad cut, but looking at the totality of all of her past shit and everything. And then I spoke with her a lot yesterday. I understand how she added stuff, so it.
About you reacting to the Farha and Sneeko drama, and yeah, I think you mentioned something about lost footage, and as soon as I heard that, I was like, I'm gonna have to clear this up because it sounds so sus without the context.
Oh, yeah.
And very
and you're gonna give us context that makes that not sus? Is that what's about to happen?
I mean, you know that 100%. Also, how do I turn up your volume on my phone? I don't think.
Well, usually on an iPhone on the side there's gonna be volume buttons. Do you have any of those?
Oh wait, no, there's a speaker button on Discord.
Nice.
Okay. Now let me speak my truth, Mitch Jones style.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, speak your truth. Go ahead.
So first of all, let me paint a picture, okay?
Go ahead. You're an artist now too, all right?
Yes, okay. Let me think. I'm trying to think. This might take a minute, okay? This is my first drama stream.
Okay. Careful, because anything you say or do could be used to fucking destroy you, so just no pressure or anything, but...
It already is. They're using that fake sex tape I'm not even in as part of the case
well,
against
I didn't
me.
tell anybody in chat about that, so nice for outing some creepers in chat. Way to go.
Okay. Yeah, I got a comment on my Instagram 2 minutes ago that's DGG, let's build a case against this bitch and expose her for all her lies. I'm all my lies. I did one stream with you, and then I just have done skits for the past year and a half. What is this case? But anyways, I'd love to see it. But anyways, okay, the situation that happened. So, okay,
yeah.
The first thing I need to clear out is that any of this was in bad faith or malicious, or that I was intentionally trying to make you look bad. And I can understand the optics of it, of why they would think I'm just a bitch, because I feel my 3 interactions with you on the internet have been one, the first debate we did, where a lot of people thought I was being bad faith in that stream, but I'm not. I'm just kind of stupid when it comes to sexual dynamics.
Okay.
But I think a lot of people misinterpreted that as bad faith. And then the second interaction is obviously we did No Jumper together, and I know that the like public perception of that was that I was just being like a stuck-up bitch. But you and I both know that I was just severely ill that day and literally vomiting. But I can understand that like with an RBF, it comes off a certain way.
Wait, with an RBF? What does that mean?
A resting bitch face.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I don't know all the Zoomer lingo. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. And then the next interaction was obviously this clip thing. So, okay. Yeah, there was never any malice, and this was my first time editing something in which the original was not being streamed. So obviously the way I edited your and I's stream when I clipped it for like the friend zoning clips and like do women get raped because of mixed signals and stuff like that, is I download the stream onto my phone. Like I just use my phone for everything. I download the 2 hours, I shave it down, I like remove all the fat where we're laughing and just being like dickheads. I shave it down to half like the time, then I clear it for storage because I'm using one SD card for 3 hours of footage with you where we're talking about everything from rape to like f***ing cats to are incels justified in hating women to the gender wage gap to arguing with my roommate about whether he'd, you know, fight off a man if he saw him f***ing his mom.
Yeah, there's a lot of good footage in there that's not going to get posted. Way to go. But go ahead.
It's a gold mine. And then I have 8 hours of Zerka being schizophrenic talking about Masonic literature that I'm trying to shave down into something not even intelligible, just like watchable, okay? And then I have all my beautiful OF content, okay? Onlyfans.com/Farha Khalidi.
Yeah, nice. Nobody can find that ever from the name that you're saying because your branding is just not great. You need to rename. Be like, I would suggest
my
like
branding, that's
I'd
my
say
name.
I'd say like Farha Smith. I would go with that one. Would be a good one. But go ahead.
But you don't even say my first name right. I've heard Farwa, Kala.
Yeah, because it's a weird
Farah.
fucking name. No offense, but.
That's racist. Like
we're all about like Emily's and Sharon's and Julia's. That's the kind of community that I run. Okay,
but those names are objectively harder to say than my name. You're just not used to my name.
Okay. Whatever you want, however you want to cope. Yeah. But okay, sorry.
I just feel like you're beefing with Muslims and you're taking out on my beautiful Muslim name.
Well, I mean, like you're the intersection of like Muslims and women, so it's like two groups that obviously I have huge disdain for. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyways, I take the footage, I shave it down to half, I clear it, and then I keep doing that. So basically, after you and I filmed, I have all the messages of this, and you do too. After we filmed, and then you left and went back to Miami or wherever you go, I messaged you, and I said, are you absolutely sure that you don't want to see any clips before I post? And you said no. And I said, I'm condensing a ton of footage, so it's going to be a ton of clip chipping. You said no. And keep in mind, this is not the first time I clipped you. After we did the stream together, the in-person debate, same thing. I made a clip where it's you saying, like, you're comparing friend zoning to rape, right? I re-uploaded and deleted that clip over 12 times because I was on your Reddit and they kept saying like, this feels out of context, this feels out of context. So I literally kept removing it and re-uploading different versions because I wanted to make it feel not out of context and I wanted to be good faith. I sent it to you over and over and I said, does this feel misrepresentative? Your Reddit thinks it does. And you said, ignore my Reddit. And I said, okay.
Yeah, so I think the difference here is that like there are going to be some things that you post where people are always just going to think I'm like a racist. And I'm like, yeah, that's just, it is what it is. I just didn't think the last one was going to be one that would make me think that I was a racist.
I didn't get that at all. Like people kept saying this is him coming out as a maybe I don't see it because you and I have like talked about rape so ad nauseum that, like,
for sure, yeah.
Maybe
it's just like every dinner, you know, it's like, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, is it not? But
yeah, it seems like it's a pretty hot topic right now. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Anyways, so my point is, that's why I asked you up front, because it's not that, like, when you say, like, okay, she lost the footage, it makes it sound like I made the video and then deleted the footage to save my ass. Like, it makes it sound like it was, like, post-editing and post the drama. The reason I asked you as soon as you pretty much left my house, are you sure you don't want to see footage, is because of the clearing process I have. And if you wanted to go back at that point, I would already have lost 50% of the footage because I'm shaving off the fat of us screaming senseless at each other, making jokes, you saying grape, like, literally just all the what I consider
I
to be
understand.
fat.
I think I will say also in the future, I think if I would have known that you were going to wipe the camera, I probably also would have like, why don't you just send me a copy of that first? But I didn't know anything about the process that you do for making videos or anything too. So.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, this was my first time editing something in which the original isn't online, in which there's no VOD or something. So this was a learning lesson for me that I do need to back things up. I mean, we both knew that like I was making this for TikTok. Like I said in the video, like, do you have the time for TikTok.com/Farha, and then you like, as a bad joke, gave me the time. So like we both knew this wasn't going to come out as like a 3-hour YouTube video. Like we knew it was going to be clips and stuff, and obviously the stuff.
Don't worry, my stream got me to buy the big. Do you know who Flava Flav is?
No.
Never mind. Keep going.
Can you not interrupt my truth? And then my roommate obviously was in the video, and he was like saying shit, and I like say his name in it as a joke, and as soon as, you know what I mean, the next day he was like, you can't like use me in the video, and I was like, yeah, I know. So most of the video is unusable, and I feel like your fans have this like this fantasy that there's this like pure like 3-hour debate that I could just drop that'll like save everything, but that's not the case. And like I think they also place way too much malice onto cuts themselves. And the thing is, even though I completely admit I could have done like in retrospect I could have done a way better job editing it, cuts themselves aren't malicious. Like I ask you what's the leading cause of rape and you say grape, you mean, and then we have 10 seconds of just staring at each other awkwardly. Like I have to cut that regardless.
Destiny, who is this?
You know
sure,
what I'm
I
saying?
understand. Yeah, sure, but I mean, like, there's a bit of a difference between like, obviously, I'm joking there versus like,
no,
what's the leading cause of women?
Right. My point is that like people themselves see like, do you see the cut? Like, why didn't she just leave the full thing? And I'm like, my point is the cut itself isn't inherently malicious.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Although I again, like we live in like totally different worlds because like I said, like my content is like 3-hour conversation. So I'm thinking that like, yeah, I understand. I mean, I understand this. You're trying to argue in my audience, so okay, so go for it.
No, I'm not arguing with anyone. I'm just clarifying because I understand the optics of it, and I just want to explain because again, when you say lost footage, as soon as I heard you say that, I was like, this sounds so bad. It literally sounds like I'm lying or something, but like that is the way I cut down footage, is like I'm just using iMovie in my phone for every type of content piece I have, and I'm just like shaving it down, and then I boil it down to like a clip length that's like maybe like a fraction of the size, and then from that I pull the clips from it after I've cut all the fat, which is why I asked you like straight up at the beginning, are you sure you don't want to see it? And with the friend zoning clip, like I guess I'm just trying to prove that like none of this was in bad faith or with
I don't think the friend zoning clip was as bad because, or I don't even know if that was bad, because I think people were genuinely just mad at me for my take on that, which I'm okay with. I'm okay with people being mad at me for my take.
So for context, the friend zoning clip was you saying, we were talking about the Aziz Ansari story, and you were saying like she's not being physically restrained or forced against her will to stay in this room. She's choosing to stay it because maybe he kind of feels like there's some leverage over her. And you were saying like analogously, women kind of like exploit that leverage over their male friends who can't make a decision, and like you were saying both parties should do some emotional babysitting for like the party they have leverage over. So that was the context of what you were saying. But when I clipped it and put it on TikTok, it was doing exceedingly well, obviously because of the buzzwords of like friend zoning, all these things. Like it was perfect on brand for my content, to be honest. I pulled it regardless because the top comment was the main difference is that the friend can leave and walk away. So I pulled the clip because I realized if that's the top comment, clearly this is out of context, because that's your whole argument is yes, she could have left too. So my whole point is like I pulled it because even though the clip was doing well, I was still like, okay, this feels out of context. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think this is gaining traction for the right reason. So I pulled it. So I'm just saying all this to say that I have no problem pulling clips. I have no problem like choosing, you know what I mean, like context over views. So like I said, I think I asked you over and over, and with the new clip that I was posting that like TikTok is shadow banning, I have to re-upload it today. I think I've sent you the cuts. Like what?
And that was just funny because my whole audience thought that you posted the new one, but because it was more nuanced and it wasn't getting the same engagement, you were just deleting it because you wanted me to look like a rapist. I thought it was funny.
No, I literally showed you the screenshots, Destiny, where I showed you what it looks like on the
I know that. I'm just telling you my audience thing because that's what they say. Okay, yeah, go for it.
Listen, people, I showed him the screenshots. If you look on my profile from my TikTok account, the video is up, but if you look from an account not logged in, it's not. That's called a shadow ban. They remove it without doing a content guideline violation so that I can't see it's removed. I showed Destiny both of these screenshots, and I said they buried it. So anyways.
Somebody says, can you ask her how she transfers files from her camera to her phone? I don't know why.
I use a Panasonic image app.
Cool. There you go, Sam. Okay. So as I was saying, then in terms of the clip itself, when I was creating the clip, I genuinely didn't think that it was necessarily misrepresenting you, but now in retrospect, I completely get it now that you've explained your position to me. My truth, yeah.
Your truth. You have to understand my perspective, which is that I only recently discovered your content.
Yeah, I understand your perspective. Explain to my audience. Don't blame me, okay? But obviously, they all just think I'm a simp. So yeah, your fight is with them, okay?
To you, I'm talking to you. Like, am I gonna What should I say? Chat? Like I don't know how to.
Yeah, you say chat. You say DGG. Denizens of DGG. Okay, you're talking to them.
What does that mean? What does DGG stand for?
Destiny.gg. That's my community. We're the Dali band.
I can't say that.
Okay, well, just say We'll just say to chat. But go ahead.
Why can't I just say it to you and they listen?
Well, because I know, but because if you say it to me like I don't understand, then I sound like a fucking retard. Because if I don't understand your perspective and you're just explaining it to me now, then I sound super retarded. I think I understand your perspective. I think I do.
Okay, how about I keep just talking to you? And
okay,
keep
yeah, go for it. I'll be a conduit for chat. Yeah, go for it.
Chat, and then we just do that until we die.
Gotcha.
Okay. So, anyways, you made me lose my train of thought. What was I saying?
So sorry. You were saying you were gonna leave the Miskiff house because nobody there understood or. I don't know. Fuck. What was she saying? Somebody remind me.
Something about my camera, but before that.
Oh yeah, you were transferring. Yeah, how you transferred. Zoom wanted to know.
No, before that. This clip specifically, I didn't necessarily know that it was misrepresentative. So like I said, the clip goes out. It's still very like fetal on my TikTok. You watch it and I ask you, does it feel misrepresentative? And you say, I don't remember. And I say, do you want me to delete it? And at this point, the video only has like 20K views on my TikTok. It hasn't been tweeted yet. It's very fresh. I verbatim ask you, do you want me to delete it? You say no. Then someone tweets it. You send me the tweet and you say, damn, do people just steal your content like this? And at this point, I'm wondering, okay, is this his way of asking me to copyright strike it, or is he actually
no, hold on, wait.
Looking out for content?
Hold on. You have to stop assuming that I'm saying things that I don't mean. Don't stop assuming that. If I want you to copyright strike something, I'll tell you. I think by the time you posted it, I figured like it's already on your TikTok, and if it gets deleted, especially once it's getting posted to Twitter shit, it's already out there. And then at that point, I just like let it run its course. It probably feels like the end of the world to you. I know that my fan base thinks it's the end of the world because for some reason they have like the memories of like mice, but usually like a clip like this will go big, it'll burn its way through like a few subreddits and some tweets, and then it's gone like after like 3 or 4 days, and that's it. My fan base thinks that like I'm going to be a permanent rapist now, but like that's just like the nature of like especially short form online content. But sorry, go ahead.
Makes sense. No, I was just telling you what my thought process was. My point was, you sent me that tweet, and you're like, "Damn, this person stole your tweet." And I said,
because when people are reposting your shit, well, because you're not even getting views on half it now. Because when people are reposting your shit, they just like straight steal the video. That happened on Reddit and Twitter. I was just
I know, but do you understand why from my perspective it was confusing? Because I was like, is he really more concerned with content theft right now than the fact that this tweet is calling him a rapist?
Well,
like,
do you understand why everybody calling me a rapist? So you know.
I mean, that was like the first tweet, but my point was like, I thought like maybe that was your way of insinuating like you want me to do something about it. So I asked you again, like, do you want me to delete it, the TikTok? And you said no. Let's see how far it goes on Twitter. The next day it like blows up on Twitter, and you're sending me and you're like, let's stream our next conversation. And I'm like, okay, cool. You show me these like Reddit links where it's getting posted, the tweets that have blown up. And I say, I can get this all pulled today if you want. I can copyright strike it all, delete the TikTok. And you say, no, at this point, it's too late. Yeah. So my point is, at every turn of the way, I asked you, do you want to see the content before it goes up? I'm telling you right now, I'm condensing a ton of footage. It's going to be quite clipped. And you say no. And then I understand that like you didn't expect it was going to be this way. I totally get that. But like I said, I asked again after the TikTok went up when it was still fresh. Do you want me to delete it? Do you want me to pull the tweets? All of this. I didn't do it because I don't know you that well. I don't know like your drama strategy well. I know when we hang out, you post cartoons of the Prophet. So part of me was like, does he just want the smoke? So that's why I didn't just like go out of the way anyway without your consent to like pull everything, because I don't know if maybe it like benefits you in some way to like have people to argue with, because I know you like combative situations and stuff. So like that was my perspective on the whole situation in terms of like why the video is still up and why I edited it the way I did, and like why the footage is not the way it was.
Wow, that was a captivating story. A lot of twists and turns in there. Do you have yeah. Anything else? How you feeling? Did you have fun for the past few days?
In general, it's been pretty gloomy here, so I haven't really left the house. I've been supposed to film with Zerka every day for the past 4 days. He has not made an appearance.
But, did he ever show up to film? Are you going to post anything from that one conversation? Did you film a second one or no?
We filmed a second one. He was just like super tired today because he had just done like an interview with like Hello Yassine, so his energy level was way lower. It's still good content, but I just feel like with him, it's just the best when he's like, you know, super high energy. So I want to get him when he's like super high energy and not like depleted from the day.
Gotcha. Well, anything else you have to share with the chat? They're desperate for your thoughts. I don't know.
I don't have the chat open. I'm just staring at your Discord icon. I don't know how to look at the chat as well. Maybe I probably shouldn't, but yeah, I don't know. Do you think I said everything clearly? And also, I'm not trying to like I probably should also say like, yes, I am sorry, and I think I could have done a way better job including your position. I think that I genuinely thought that your position on this specific topic was more red pilled than it was, and that's why I was confused at first when you were saying like, this makes me look bad, because I was really confused. I was like, how is this not your position? Like, is this not like the conversation we've been having again in every single filming session? And you were like, no, my point is that I'm centrist. My point is that like I place equal responsibility, or not equal, but I place a responsibility on both like the man and the woman. Mm-hmm. And I guess I'm just so used to seeing it from a binary perspective that when you say in filming, of course mention rape, but women should put on boundaries, my brain just like codifies the like mention rape as just like a throwaway, as like a preface, because the same way red pillars will say like, of course it's bad, but women shouldn't dress funny and they shouldn't do these things. So now that you explained to me that your perspective on this specific situation is centrist, now I understand that like you saying mention rape, but women should put up boundaries, that first part isn't a throwaway. That's like very crucial to your like whole argument. But I didn't think about that before.
Wow.
If that makes sense.
Okay.
What do you think?
I don't care that much. Everybody else cares about this way more than I do. But I mean, I think my solution was just that if I see you cut stuff, I think I want to see clips ahead of time. But we already talked about that basically. And then
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just the biggest. We come from such different worlds in terms of content editing or whatever. In my mind, it's always like more context is always better. So like the idea, for instance, that like a clip would get, like if it's truly horrible, then I imagine, okay, well I could just like ask for the full video and I'll post that. But I wouldn't imagine that you would like deleting original footage like that is unconscionable to me. Not as like an ethics thing, but just because you wouldn't, because it's always like more content. So I didn't know like your editing process or anything like that. No, it would just, a lot of these things just didn't even occur to me. But that's why I said it was a learning opportunity for both of us, you know?
Yeah, and I think either next time we just stream it, or I am down to post like a 2-hour video. I just think we need to go into it knowing that all of it's being posted. Like I guess in the moment, like I already knew this is just for clips, which is why most of the tone for most of it was like playful and like tangential, and you know what I mean, like a shit show.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, either way.
Why your audience was so confused, and they were like, I can't believe you'd be this close to a guy that is like so clearly like ready and willing to rape women all the time, you know?
I'm gonna be honest, like maybe I just can't see it objectively because it's my own clip, and then also I know you, so I didn't understand where the like how this is a rape confession came from. Can you explain that to me? Because I genuinely don't see it.
I mean, I feel like when I listen to the original clip, it kind of makes me sound like a f***ing rapist, doesn't it?
Does it? It makes you sound like a apologist.
Okay. I mean, I feel like those things get like conflated pretty quickly now.
But I guess my argument was, I think they'd say that regardless, even if you went on record saying like the things you have on your Twitter for the past 24 hours of like, of course mention rape, but like I said, women should put up boundaries. Like one.
No, yeah, that's true. That's a difficult one. So it is true that people would say it regardless, but the amount of people that would say it, and with the conviction and justification they would say it, would be a bit different. Like there's gonna be a lot of people that call me racist or rapist or Islamophobe or whatever, no matter what. But like there's some people can do it and it just seems like they're whining, but then other people can do it be like, oh, this actually does kind of seem like a rapist. And I think depending on that last guy, kind of makes it seem like he's like, right now people call me a rape apologist. They don't really have any leg to stand on. But if they see like footage like that, it's like, oh, I don't know. Now it kind of sounds like he's saying that like if rape happens it's because women didn't do enough, which kind of makes it sound that way, you know.
But isn't that still the argument?
Well, my argument is that the thing that I fight on, usually when I'm arguing, the reason why I've been so effective at communicating is because I think that people on the right tend to put all the onus on the women and absolve men of responsibility, but I think it's equally retarded that people on the left treat women like retarded children and place all the onus on the men. So depending on who I'm arguing with, like if you see me on Fresh and Fit, I'm going to come off as like very, very left-leaning because I'm usually advocating on the woman's side. But when I'm arguing with, I guess like people like you or like super feminists, I'm going to come off like way more like apologist because I'm saying, well, no, women can do more too. Like we have to stop like saying women have zero agency or control over any of these events, basically.
Yeah.
Wait, did you see my Twitter thread on the friend zone thing?
Was that in response to Mr. Beard?
Yeah.
Ryan Beard.
Wait,
I don't think I read it all. I think I saw you talking about his weight and stuff.
Okay, wait, never mind. That was a different thing.
How can you come for my TikTok mutuals like this?
Is that a TikTok? Is that a TikToker?
Yeah. Wait, what? That's all I know him from. What else does he do?
I thought he was a YouTuber.
Oh, maybe both.
Oh.
Yeah, he has like 2 mil on TikTok.
Oh, damn. He does like music and stuff.
I think on TikTok he does kind of like comedy videos.
Yeah, he does like comedy music. He's like a Bo Burnham-ish character.
Yeah.
I had a big Twitter thread though where I explained that the friend zone take, which I think we've kind of argued about before. The gist of that was that just basically it feels like in every single type of interaction between men and women, if you're talking to somebody very far on the left, it feels like men have all the responsibility in every single situation for both parties at all points in time. So like on the friend zone thing, it's like men are expected to realize when the woman is just treating them as a friend and not romantically, and then like for the thing, like men are supposed to realize when a woman doesn't want it, when she's saying no and she means it, or when she's saying yes and maybe she still isn't ready, or like if she said too much. Like it just feels like there's a lot of onus, and I don't understand that like technically men are doing the thing, but it feels like an ungodly amount of responsibility, especially when, no offense, like most men are, I think I say that at the end of your clip if you've posted it, that men are retarded, that to place the onus on them all the time is like a recipe for disaster. I think but
no, I understood the argument. That's like why I said I pulled it.
Well,
yeah, was that thread received well?
Yeah, duh. All my longer threads are, the context and all that usually helps me.
I guess. Let me think.
Yeah, do that.
I can't see. All I see is this icon. Are you like in the middle of something? Did I interrupt?
No, we're just chilling. I just started my stream like an hour ago, so we're not doing anything too exciting yet.
Okay. I mean, you can kick me off at any time. I don't think I even know how to leave this.
Oh, thank you so much. I thought I was like obligated to have you here for like the entire day, but now that you gave me permission to remove you from the channel if I need to, now I know that I'm like free to do what I want on my own stream in my own time. Thank you.
Maybe this was a ploy to finally get me to download Discord since I kept saying no.
What? Oh, yeah.
You just created so much beef and drama around me that I'm forced to clear my name.
Yeah? Is that what happened? At the cost of my entire online reputation, where I'll be forever branded as a apologist now?
Bro, like the next hour I see you change your profile picture to you in cornrows and you're tweeting like, I'm gonna say it. Like, I'm just like, what
okay, listen, you don't understand. That's contextual humor, okay? I'm not actually gonna say it, okay? You just don't understand this part of the internet, all right? It's too intense for you. Because
I begged you to delete all those cartoons of the Prophet. I was like texting the next day. I was having secondhand stress because first of all, you tweeted it from my house, and I was scared like the IP was gonna be tracked down or something. But also like I genuinely told you like delete it while it's still fresh, like or else it's just gonna get worse as it lives on.
Well.
So I thought you were just addicted to poking the bear. So I was very confused because I was like, why is this? I don't understand, but. I think I understand better now.
That's good, yeah. Sometimes you just want to live life on the edge,
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I guess like you were just saying, like to feminists you come off as red pilled and then vice versa. I guess like I was saying in this one specific argument, I guess that's just how I read it. Like I guess my brain didn't see the difference between the statement mentioned but women should put up better boundaries, and then the statement of like women need to be better at putting up boundaries, because then our whole conversation obviously just became about the boundaries thing.
Yeah.
So I guess I was like, I don't understand why that was like a, I guess my brain just saw that as fat, because even red pillars or even like real apologists will say like, right, of course mention rape, but you shouldn't put yourself in a position to be raped.
Sure.
Do you see why it's confusing? What do you think? Okay, what do you think differentiates your rape stance from a red pillar's? Because they also will say men shouldn't. Like, I don't think a red pillar will say like men should rape if a woman.
I mean,
is
if you get like
heavy.
really deep into the conversation, I think the difference is I usually try to push for more affirmative or like enthusiastic consent. So I think that for red pillars, I think that for a lot of hookup culture, men are incentivized to look for and lean into maybes instead of just taking a maybe as a no and like chilling a little bit. That's generally where I'll draw the line. Whereas I think for red pillars, I think the goal is usually like, how do you maneuver a woman into the position to where she's eventually gonna have sex with you, regardless of maybe what she might want. But that seems to be like the go-to. Yeah, whereas I kind of take the affirmative or enthusiastic model a little bit more. But
is that the red pillar model?
That used to be the old like PUA model. I don't know as much anymore, like what, because now red pillars don't even talk about like dating and shit. They just talk about like the Matrix, so I don't even know actually.
Yeah, because I feel like red pillars are the ones who are like, oh, you're gonna catch a charge for even like touching a woman's shoulder, so I wouldn't expect that to be their talk.
Yeah, but like that's really toxic too, because it makes it seem like, I think when you frame it that way, I mean, you probably agree with it, but like when you frame it that way, you make it sound like, oh, when charges happen, it's because of like just like it's always an accident, or like or like women are like just dying to like lay down these charges immediately. But I think it's usually just because men are a little bit too pushy and not patient enough.
Yeah, fair.